We recording. What's up, guys? Welcome to a Savage Gaming Podcast. I'm a Savage Kev.
I'm Paul.
I'm Shane. We were just having a laugh.
We're just having a laugh.
I don't even remember what it was about, but you know,
It was funny though.
Unimportant.
it was definitely funny.
Unimportant. We like to talk about trends in gamings, whether good or bad. I've noticed a trend for a few years now about this free-to-play games on Xbox and PlayStation Marketplace, and I really just dove into them maybe a few months ago with a game called Marvel Omega, and it was awesome. It was completely free-to-play. Unfortunately, it closed down. The company closed down. And
What type of game was it?
it reminded me of Diablo, like Diablo 3.
Okay.
But with superheroes.
That actually sounds
That
interesting.
sounds pretty
Like
awesome.
something I'd like to get into.
It was completely free to play. Me and my buddy Andy played it for a while, and I think we both spent like $5 on a bigger storage upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. And
But it was just like a totally optional thing.
a totally optional thing. You guys have any experience with any of the free to play games?
I've played a little bit of Path of Exile, and I like what they were going for. And I mean, it didn't grab me like a Diablo game would have, but at the same time, Diablo would have been $60. This was free.
Yeah.
And it was close enough, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I played a bit of Path of Exile. I still have it downloaded. I wouldn't mind getting into it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I fooled around with Paladins a bit, but I hadn't really like dove into it the way that I'd like to. It's just been like a timing thing, and then I was kind of waiting on other people that I knew to get it, and now like everyone finally did. I just hadn't had a chance to play.
I've always looked at them, from years ago when they started happening, and I'd always go and read the reviews. I'm a big review guy. I'll read the reviews, and a lot of guys say, you can get to a certain level, and then you start have to pumping out the money.
Right.
So I never touched them until Marvel, and then you just brought up Paladins, and that's the main reason I wanted to get into this. Paladins is fantastic, and I've been on it for a few days, and getting the characters to play all the different characters is completely free.
Right.
You buy the
You
characters
just grind it out.
in-game currency. The only thing you have to actually spend real money on is cosmetics, armor, hats, fun stuff.
Yeah, like the completely optional stuff.
Paladins did it so correct,
Yeah.
so correct.
One other thing we talked about a couple episodes ago, Paladins is going to do a battle royale mode as well, and they're going to do like the whole. I think it's 100 guys.
Yeah, 1 versus 100.
Yeah, which would be super cool, man. It's interesting. Like you have special powers, you get to find that character that you really like. You can build the way you want to build them, and you know how to play with that build. It's interesting. It's instead of just finding a gun and it's the same, the same thing every time you play.
I kind of describe it as an awesome Knots first-person shooter.
Kind of. I thought that when I played it as well.
There's so many
I thought
different
that.
characters, and all the characters are way different. And some characters shine in different game modes, I found, too.
I think the gameplay is really fun as well. Like I think the mechanics are fun. They're not like it's not really clunky or anything. Like it. I thought it played great.
That's what I wanted to say about the game. Actually, is I'm not normally into the MOBA games and stuff like that, and I thought I was gonna hate it off the bat, but I downloaded it because it was free. Played a few matches yesterday, and I ended up really having a good time with it. And got a couple characters, and like played enough to earn a few more characters and stuff. And I want to play it again. So for a free game, you'd be ridiculous not to try it, I guess.
I do have to say, comparing Marvel and Paladins, because I have experience with both, Marvel was super, super, super hard to grind and get currency for the characters. Paladins is super, super easy. You can play maybe 2 hours a night and get at least enough for a high-ranking character.
But when you get higher, does it go longer?
I think one character's 5,000, another character's like 7,500, and another character's like 12,000, I think.
Okay, so it's not so bad.
Mm-mm.
So it's just putting the actual time
Just
in.
putting
It
the
doesn't
time in.
like if you. I guess what I mean is like when you get to a certain level with that character, does it take more experience to level them to the next?
No,
You purchase them with gold that you win through matches. So
I
it
got
has
you.
nothing
So
to do
it's
with level.
not a level. Like
No.
you just win the gold through matches and then buy the character.
right,
Okay.
right.
See, I got in. I played like a few matches and I tried out like 2 characters, and I didn't really get much further than that. Like I may have played for like 45 minutes or so, kind of doing a tutorial and then that stuff.
I mean, I've been drilling dick on it. I mean, I've been playing I think I'm level 11. And but the thing about it is, my 2 or 3 main characters that I'm good with are the ones that you start off with, the ones that they give you.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
I think a lot of games end up doing that. That was something I noticed in Awesome Knots, and I think I've noticed in a few other games. And it's one like the initial characters they add the other ones on, and then sometimes they just don't really add up,
Right.
man. Like they already kind of, it's like they already kind of created the really good ones, and then they're just giving you more to give you more. It's
Yeah.
like it's not that they're bad. It's like the ones that they wanted to create with the game. It's like they kind of already did it.
I'm digging the shit out of it. I really, really like it. And like I said, as far as getting all the characters and playing all the modes, you don't have to spend a dime.
Yeah,
You know, I think
that's awesome.
they've done this a lot, but in my opinion, Paladins had knocked it out the park with it.
Yeah.
You know, I really, really think. I'm gonna get into Path to Exile. I think Path to Exile will be fun.
I think Paladins too. I think that's something like everyone's gonna see us stream a bit more.
Probably so. Yeah.
It's really easy for us to do, you know,
Mhm.
when we're just at home, like we're not in the same place. It's like really easy to just pop it on, do some matches.
Right.
You know, even if it's like a 45-minute stream, it's like you always have time to just kind of bang that little bit out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a straight up Overwatch ripoff.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. But I find
I never really played Overwatch, so I don't know.
I didn't like it, and that's why I thought I was gonna hate this, and then it ended up getting me, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the characters are way cooler in Paladins.
Like I knew I fooled around with Overwatch, but I never really like got into it to where it was a thing.
I played it for a while on PlayStation 4, and it was fun, and I was good at it. I'm really good at that fast-paced first-person shooter shit. But I prefer this over Overwatch any day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and the fact that it's free too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm happy about it. I think there should be some of that. It's like, dude, we spend a lot of money on games, and I don't think that they owe us anything. Like any
No.
company owes us anything,
Right
but
now.
it's just nice for it to be there. It's like
Absolutely.
it's the thing like I really appreciate.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, you know,
I think it's really, especially when you get a fun game that you didn't pay anything for, because you'll spend like $60 on a game to stress you out.
Oh,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
there's so many $60 games that I've put maybe 8 to 12 hours in, and these free-to-play games, man, I'll put 20, 30 hours in. You know, not spending a dime. You know? I mean, yeah, you know, it's free, so everybody's got it. You know, not everybody plays it, but yeah, the servers are going to be, you know, a little iffy now and then. It's free. You know?
yeah,
It's free.
Well, in Paladins especially, it's still in the beta. Like the game's not
True.
even out.
True.
It's just been running a beta this whole time.
True.
So eventually, it's just gonna get better.
yeah, and from what it looks like, I mean, it's kind of a thing, man. There's a lot of guys playing, do like tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, they just held a Paladins tournament, I think, recently. Either maybe coming up or maybe a few weeks back. I heard about it. It's getting there. It's getting big.
Yeah, and I think with the gameplay, I think the battle royale mode would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like I think it could be a lot of fun with that style gameplay.
It would be goddamn
I like that
chaos.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, more
It-
than
it-
likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a whole lot of people choosing like an attack type character,
Yeah,
and
just
then
go.
one dude just holding back with his shield and trying not to die.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that one dude would probably win if he could not die.
You die quite often though. Like it's
It is kind of awesome though. Like you just find a corner and just hit the shield for a while. Like let everybody shoot each other because like they're firing at you. It's like a pretty cool strategy, man. And just run away, you know, recharge. Like I'm assuming you have to recharge the ability.
Oh yeah.
Like over time, so
It
you
takes
just
a
run
while.
away,
Yeah.
like run into another corner. It's just like post up.
But
It's
the,
great.
the cool thing about Paladins too is that they introduced this card system
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
every character has a set of 16 cards that are buffs for your superpowers and you know your health, and you level those cards up. You know, so like you were talking about the recharge of the shield. If you're that character, and let's say you have like a 10 level 10 card of the shield regeneration rate, I mean that thing will pop up, you know, in 2-3 seconds.
Right,
You know?
right. Which could be a really effective way, you know, to build a character in some kind of battle royale mode. Like you really kind of need that shield.
I'm
That,
just-
like
I'm-
that would be tremendous. Like think about playing PUBG and how many times you were like, if I just had a fucking shield that was around me right now, it would be tremendous.
I wonder,
Just
I
dude
wonder
shooting at you from everywhere.
if they finally do this you know PUBG style on Paladins, if they make the big maps. I would wonder if because I mean if you're thinking like a medium sized map in Paladins, those rounds might last maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
You know, it's so fast. You know, that would be dope though. If
Yeah.
you can get a 1 versus 100 round, you know, in 5 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I think the biggest problem with PUBG is the map size. I think they need small maps.
That would be tremendous. Like just kind of go out, big enough to be able to duck off, but close enough to where you're seeing somebody like really, really quick.
If they were using paladin-sized maps, like it would just be a bunch of explosions and have like the minute the match started, a bunch of people would be dead immediately. People would stop playing. It would ruin the game. Like they need bigger maps than that.
Maybe they go 1 versus 50. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we just talked about this awesome, awesome, awesome game available for free. We're gonna totally flip the script and talk about something that I think's ridiculous. Paying $80 for some cardboard.
Labo, what up?
Labo, what's up? Nintendo
right.
Switch Labo. Paul.
I'm for it, man. Like, I don't think initially it's. Here's the thing. The way it stands right now, the two boxes they have and the minimal of like availability of software for it, I don't think it's great. But Nintendo's always been about pushing the fucking envelope and making new shit that nobody's ever done before, and it somehow works most of the time. Like the Switch alone is fucking incredible.
The Switch is
That is a really cool system. Yeah.
I'm not knocking the system at all.
Now, say people start figuring out how to work with this software or whatever. 3D printers exist now. Software companies doing indie games exist now. Blah 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 blah. People can start printing their own indie game download cards with their own mechanic for the Switch and build their own games with the toy that comes along with it to use it for adults, which is eventually could be awesome.
So kind of like a Skylanders thing?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, that's possible down the line because this new innovation's been brought to light. Now, it might fail horribly.
Yes.
But if it does work down the line, I could see some real cool shit coming from it. And since the way it stands right now, though, children, man, like they're gonna want to draw on it. They're gonna want to like do some real basic shit, and it's gonna seem interesting. Plus, they get to build it. Like when you were a kid, you wanted Legos and video games. Probably
Absolutely.
This is that.
Yeah.
This is a video game you have to build yourself with directions, and then you can play with it. It's fucking Lego video games.
That sounds really cool. I don't know much about it, so I was kind of curious when you guys wanted to talk about it. But I guess if anyone listening that doesn't know what it is, like just kind of briefly explain it.
I mean, the trailer I saw and the comments I read, that's where I got $80 for cardboard. It looks like you buy whatever's in the package, some cardboard pieces or whatever, and it looks like you build like this kid built like a cardboard computer and put the Nintendo Switch screen on the computer, and played it. So it's yes, it is designed for kids. It is like a pretend thing, But I mean, the majority of people that play the Switch, are adults.
Yeah.
But are there some kind of like components in it, or is it just
I
just
think it
cardboard?
comes with sound. Comes with a download for some software that's like a little mini game at this point, and the cardboard thing that you punch out and build.
Okay.
But like they showed one of the things in the little trailer was it looked like the little head region of a fucking crotch rocket. And they had the little screen in there, and you had the little handles that turns it to speed up the motorbike, and then you motion control while you're looking at the screen directly in your hands, like shit like that.
So you would be doing the motion control.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Is that just the motion control with the controllers?
It's
like
the
you hold it
software you
and
download.
There's an RF switch, like for the keyboard part, like the thing where they built a little piano out of the cardboard and it actually played. There's an RF laser in there, and like that's why I think in the future they'll be able to make like better non-cardboard items for it. It's because all the programming is like, oh, when the laser stops, make this pitch. When the laser stops, so they map that out, and these kids can build and color their own pianos and really play them and stuff like that.
I mean, I guess that's good. Color your Switch piano instead of my real piano.
No.
Do you think? I mean, I've said it before, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I think Nintendo. I think they're like, they're steadily, keeping their business up. Do you think this is gonna, like, boost their shit up in any way, shape, or form?
I think kids will want it.
Oh,
I mean,
kids
as
are
far
gonna
as sales
go
go, I
crazy
think
for
it'll do well.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna go crazy for it, and if you think about like, it sucks that it's little mini games, but it's also for kids.
Right.
Kids are easily entertained, but
Right.
yeah, like $70-$80 for like a bunch of the cardboard things or whatever, and some software to run a game on each one. That's not super outrageous when you consider the price of AAA titles.
Oh no, yeah, I know.
And if it'll shut your kid up for the time it takes to build the thing and then get them wrapped up in the game and stuff like that, that's worth it.
I mean, I'm all about the creative, outlet that these kids are gonna get, because I mean, I played as Legos, as a kid, and I was always building shit, you know. Um, I don't know. Nintendo's weird. I think like the best feature of any Nintendo, like new, like Wii, Switch, is the access to buy like the old Nintendo games.
That's a really cool option.
I
Yeah.
love even the DS has that function. Where you could be on the train, playing Punch Out. Da, 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 da,
Hmm.
I love that feature. And once they go down, I think, and they're available, I'll probably get a Switch.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
I've only got a few games for mine, and I thoroughly enjoy it, man. It's a solid system.
Yeah, I mean, my problem was I just didn't feel like there were a lot of games that I was really excited about. Like
Yeah.
the ones I am excited about, I'm really excited about, and I
Right.
really want to play. But it's like that $400 investment. Like it's not that I can't afford it, but there's always like I'm a musician, man. It's always something I need. You know what I'm saying? And then dropping something on a system with a minimal amount of games. I'm like, there's always something a little more important to me.
Right.
But eventually, I think if it goes down to like 300, like another $100, I'll probably pick one up.
No.
I mean, you can't deny though. Like, okay, you had a bad day. You got mugged in a dark alleyway. You're sad, dude. If you go home, you got Mario. You can play Mario.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
always
I mean, those
cheers you
games
up,
are
man.
great.
They
Yeah,
always
sure.
cheer you up.
Mario Odyssey was a lot of fun. I got to say that it wasn't as, in my opinion, it wasn't as good as some of the previous Mario's, but it was a damn good game. So,
They got the new Donkey Kong Country or Tropical coming out.
is that new or is that just a remake of the last one?
I've never heard of a Donkey Kong Tropical.
Tropical Freeze?
Yeah, that might have been it. Is that a remake?
Yeah, I think so. I think I had that on Wii U.
Donkey Kong Country. Dude, those were dope.
They were.
Those were dope
Yeah.
ass games.
I mean, I like the
favorite.
older ones, but I hadn't played any for the newer systems.
I remember playing the demo at Circuit City. It was my mom. You want this? I said, yeah, this is the one I want. I think I beat that bitch by like 6 o'clock Christmas Day. I destroyed it.
It's over with.
I destroyed it. Yeah, it was ruined
Huh.
for me.
As often as I played those games, never once did I get the 103% or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I never once did that.
I wasn't too focused on any of that stuff.
Yeah.
When Super Nintendo, back when like those, oh man, you played the game to play the game to have fun.
Yeah.
Now there's so much shit, in games like achievements.
Yeah, there's a lot to think
You
about.
know, there's a lot to think about, and I personally think like achievements has changed the way a lot of people play, and all these little loot box availables and all that stuff. It's like I don't think people play for fun anymore. I think people play to like level up a character and kind of be like, look what I got.
I think there's some people, but some people just enjoy the gameplay.
I hope, man.
Yeah, there's got to be a subsect of gamers out there that they want to get every penny out of that game, like
Yeah.
every drop of fun
Yeah.
out, so they want to 100% everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I used to do that shit, but I gave it up a long time ago.
That's
For
not
one,
great.
like it's stressful, dude, and
Mm,
especially like the linear games, it's like you get tired of just doing that one stage over and over, like looking for that one thing. And then you get to that point, you're like, I fucking checked everywhere. I don't understand what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You just freak out.
Well, this dude impressed the shit out of me when we played Resident Evil 5 co-op. And he took charge. He was Chris, biceps. And I mean, every level, this dude was like, oh, something's over here. Something's over here. And we got these blue medallions. And these blue medallions were in some stupid hidden ass places.
Yeah.
And this dude, like, look up. I was like, okay. He's like, bam, there's one. I was like, man, like, but I mean, Resident Evil 5 was what? 2000?
Yeah, dude, that might have been the last one.
That you
I
really,
went
like, got all the,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, like I went through that dude 100%.
Yeah.
But that was probably the last game that I did. Like me and my buddy Brad played it like crazy. Dude, like finding those medallions was just
I
it
don't
was
know how y'all
outrageous.
got that.
Dude, there were just times where we had like have like a sniper rifle out with a scope, like the one with the most zoom you could possibly get, just searching like every crevice of rock and I mean sometimes you find one in a crazy place like that, but a lot of the times, man, it was just in some obvious place that you didn't even pay attention to.
The one that tripped me out was the one.
But you get frustrated, and
Oh,
then
bet
you
you
just
do.
you completely ignore the
Oh.
obvious spots. You know what I mean?
I bet you do, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't do the 100% thing
I
on
can't.
games.
I can't
try.
anymore.
When I start a game, I try to do everything. And then a
I
few
do
hours
that
later,
as
I
well.
don't fucking care
Yeah.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
like, let me just progress this story and see what's
I do
up.
that with open world games all the time. Like I'll start and I'll hit every mission, and after a while, it's like just give me the story missions, man. And then I might get a wild hair and go back and do them afterwards.
Right.
But it just hits that point because a lot of them, man, a lot of these side missions um, there are a bunch of games where you do the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember doing that on Metal, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 5, and you just kind of like if you did the side missions, it was the same group of them, however many it was. You go rescue a guy or you got to go assassinate a guy, and there was just a few that you did.
Mm.
And after a while, you're like, man, I just been doing the same thing over and over. You just got to stop and just story mission it.
Repetition, man.
Yeah,
Games
dude.
games rely on repetition way too much nowadays, I think.
Well, the thing with that, it was almost like a Far Cry type gameplay to where you get to the area, you pull out binoculars, you tag everyone, and then you try to go through, and it's like, man, you can only do that so many times before
Yeah.
you're like, I'm just tired of doing it. You just like, I just want to go in with a sword and kill people. Like this is outrageous, man.
One game that didn't rely heavily on repetition was that one that I just put out a stream of a few days ago. That Planet of the Eyes.
Planet of the Eyes.
It's an hour-long little indie game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, every say if you don't die a bunch, every 5 minutes or so, you're in a new area with a whole different. Like you're doing the same thing. It's just a platformer, but they change it up every like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Like so, it feels like
Just
a
out of
fresh
nowhere.
game. No, like they when you get to a new area, the background will change, everything about it will change, and you'll find a cassette tape that talks to you about like the backstory while you're just walking around as this little robot dude. And then you get to a new area, and like just the vibe has changed, and the level is built completely different and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an hour-long game. You can run through it in maybe hour and a half your first time playing it, and it never felt repetitive and stuff like that. So
A lot of
That's
those, a
cool.
lot of those little,
That sounds cool.
a lot of those little indie games never feel repetitive, man. A lot of those little indie games, if you can find them, you'll stumble upon them, man. They're so fresh. They're
hmm
so fresh, and it's like, wow, why hasn't anybody thought of this? Is great. You said you streamed that
yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah, did
You
the whole game. Yeah.
you can watch that on our YouTube channel at a Savage Gaming Experiment. Guys, Dead by Daylight just announced they just had a new monster, Jigsaw from Saw.
Monster.
A monster, spooky. You guys play Dead by Daylight?
No.
I don't.
Me neither.
We went through.
we
Wait, before you get to that though, because like I've been seeing the headlines for it. I loved it, but like, how do you do it though? Like he didn't really kill people
No.
in the movies. Like he wasn't like an
That's a
attack
good
you
point,
type
man.
guy. Like
Yeah.
he set you up
He
in
set little
scenarios.
traps,
Like
yeah.
He just hung
I'm
around
kinda-
being old for a while. Like that's all he did.
yeah,
would
and the
be cool
chick
if
was
you
kind of
just-
handling it, right?
hmm
Would be
Yeah.
cool if what's that? This little doll. If you could just wheel around in a little tricycle.
I'm just kind of curious. I don't play the game, but I'm just kind of curious how they would do that character,
It's a good
unless they
point,
were
man.
just like fuck the movies.
Yeah, this is for the game.
Like before he was like bedridden, he was a psychopath, and this is
Now
his
he's
story.
fresh.
You know?
Yeah, you got paid
yeah.
a lot of money to do this Dead by
But
Daylight.
I was just curious about that. Like I feel like I ought to check out a video. I'm just curious to see like what kind of attacks they gave him.
It came out right when Friday the 13th came out, and I was so on board with Friday the 13th that I just totally disregarded Dead by Daylight.
Well, see, what happened was Dead by Daylight was had been in talks for a year or two before Friday the 13th was ever mentioned. And Friday the 13th rushed to get their game out. That's why it was fucking broken when it came out.
It's a wonderful
So
game
I-
now, though, man.
So I bought it the day it came out
Me
to
too.
play with a bunch of people.
Me too.
And it was fucking broken, and I had a miserable experience, so I uninstalled it. And then Dead by Daylight finally came out, and I was like, I'm not buying this game all over again. It's the same goddamn game. So I never played it.
Yeah, I saw some friends play it, and just watching them play it, like I can see how it could be fun for like a minute. But I know how I am, and I'm the type of dude that's gonna get burnt out just
Yeah.
doing that same thing
Yeah.
over and over. Which is an odd thing to say because video games are basically the same thing over and over.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like that thing. It's like kind of the same. You're doing the same shit, man. You're working on generators.
Right.
You're hiding whatever. You got to go save somebody off a hook. It's like nothing really changes.
Save
You
somebody
know?
off a hook.
Yeah, you got to pull them off of that hook over there.
It was quicker than Friday the 13th, but I mean, like you said, it was either pulling somebody off the hook, changing the generator, which took forever, or hiding.
Yeah.
You know, and it was in a smaller map. I prefer. Friday
Like I
the
said,
13th.
I can understand how the matches could be fun, but I know that I'd be burnt out like
Yeah.
really fast, so I never really wanted to throw that money out.
I just don't like those uneven multiplayer games. Like, I thought, what was the one where you're hunting down monsters and shit? Evolve?
Yeah.
That was awful.
I thought it looked amazing.
Oh man,
I thought it looked like it was going to be an amazing concept for a game, and
It
I was
was, yeah.
all in on it.
Me too.
And I bought it, and 2 days later, I was like, I want to return this.
Yeah.
And GameStop was like, oh, yeah, by the way, it's half the price now because nobody likes this
Yep.
game. I was like, man, fuck y'all.
I want to return it so I don't have my receipt. So what?
They're like, we'll give you a quarter of price for it right now.
No.
How about 350? We Happy Few has been delayed again.
I know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I bought it. I mean, I'm waiting now. It's like I already paid for it.
It looks awesome. I got the trial. I haven't dove into it yet, but it's definitely something that I'm going to be getting.
The bit that I played was, it seemed okay, but it was really early on, like right when they released it. And I just kind of hit that point where I was like, you know what, man, I'm just going to wait it out.
I hope they add something to it because I played the trial the day they released it, and it just seemed like, oh, they're going to give you a place to go and a mission to do, but at the same time, like it didn't feel like they'd fleshed out the eating, resting, and like none of that. But it was like, oh, I walked 2 blocks, now I'm about to die, and someone's looking at me. Like it didn't seem like they fleshed it out right. So I'm hoping they fix
and that's
that.
kind of how I felt. But I played it, that early on too, like maybe the first week that they had it out. And I just made the decision, and I'm like, I'm going to wait it out. And I'm still doing that. Like, they might have improved a lot of things. It could be really fun right now, but it's like, we're so close, I can wait it out.
What they said, summer?
Yeah, they said summer. It's supposed to be April, I think April 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
2-3 month delay.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
That's not bad. Everybody got their panties in a bunch about this Metal Gear Survive online.
Yeah, people are really upset about
Yeah.
that thing, man. They're upset about it for so many reasons. It's
being an old
like,
school,
I understand it, but it's
I understand it, but being an old school gamer, like, I'd like to have the option at least to do, single player, offline and online. It's not gonna, if the next South Park game is online only, it's not gonna deter me from buying it.
Yeah, sure.
But I would like to have that option. I'm not a fan of Metal Gear Solid, so I don't give a shit. I read the comments. I think it's hilarious.
I like the games, and I get it, man. Kojima's gone, and people are really upset that Konami booted him, and now they're using the Metal Gear title to sell a game that he wasn't a part of, and that's like, from what I've been seeing, that's what people are really mad about.
Well, I know it's a loyalty thing.
But I'm the kind of guy who's just like, if it's a cool game, man, like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know the dude, I appreciate the games that he's given us, but like, we're not boys, man. Like, if it's a good game, I want to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna protest a game where I could have a really fun time playing it for like some kind of principles that are based on nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but some opinion, somebody else's decision on a dude that you didn't meet, and it's like affects your life. I don't know, man. I find it odd. People might think I'm a dick for that, but I just think it's odd. Like, control your emotions.
Yeah.
He did it was called PT. It was the new Silent Hill. It was going to be the new Silent Hill demo exclusively on PlayStation 4. And that was when I had a PlayStation 4, and I downloaded this thing, and I played it at least 50 times.
Yeah.
It was the best survival horror experience ever.
Yeah, and I don't think it's on the market anymore for
Nope.
PlayStation, and the game never fucking came out, and
Never
I don't
came
think
out.
it's going to.
I'm probably very incorrect on this number. I know it's a very high amount, but like, kids are selling their PlayStation 4s with that demo downloaded on a PlayStation for like a ridiculous amount of money.
No, I'd sell mine to anybody.
This thing was awesome.
I mean, I'm sure it's a great game, but it's like, I play it a few times, and I'd be like, who wants to buy this thing? Like,
Who wants to buy this?
Let's make some cash,
But
man.
I know Hideo was in part of that.
I mean, he's tremendous.
He's
man.
absolutely tremendous.
And I guess that's why people are so fired up about it. And then too, I will give him this, man. I mean, it's not a Metal Gear game.
No.
I mean, what's it? I mean, it looks like Dead Rising,
Yeah.
and you can just like have friends do it with you. But I mean, that's essentially. I mean, it looks like Dead Rising. It's probably a lot more fun, but
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it. Like, I'm not gonna get it.
There's a few series out there. Metal Gear is one of them, but like Halo's and one of them. There's a lot of like real series that've been around a long time that they've have like these fans that go crazy.
A hardcore fan base.
If
for those
you
games.
mess up what they think should be in the game, and it's got to be tough, man. It's got to be tough to keep that Metal Gear persona because they were so good. What was the last good one you played? You said you played a 5, huh?
I actually like 5, man.
I think 5 was.
It was different, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was different. I didn't like it because of how different it was. I will say it was a phenomenal game. It was a perfect game. It just wasn't my type of play.
A lot of people had a problem with that too, man. It was just kind of far off from what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one I played was Snake Eater. But the last one I really enjoyed was 2 on PlayStation 2. When you could, I think it was the first time you can go play as another character.
Mm-hmm.
But the one on PlayStation 1, man, with Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
Oh man, that one was so good. That one was so good.
I don't give a shit what anybody says. I liked Guns of the Patriots. I didn't think it was bad.
Well, look, we almost out of time. We like to end off with a little segment called "What You Gaming On?" Shane, what you gaming on?
I'm just kind of trying things out right now. Like I haven't really found anything to settle onto. Yeah, I mean I just kind of finished everything. Whatever I play with you guys every now and then. Like I've been kind of fooling around with Far Cry 3. Like I played South Park again for a little while, and it was just it's too soon. It didn't like nothing's grabbing me. So I'm just kind of just dabbling with whatever I can.
Yeah. Paul, what you gaming on?
Full Metal Furies, man.
Yeah.
That game is fucking killer.
Actually, I do plan on picking that up tonight.
Yeah, I think we're both gonna be picking that up soon.
It's a lot of fun, and I would appreciate it if it wasn't just me being the focus of all the damage getting thrown at me. It'd be awesome with somebody else to help me out.
We'll be in there soon.
Is 4-player co-op?
It's 4-player co-op.
Beautiful.
Yes. And or you could do 1-player mode where you pick 2 of the 4 available characters,
Nice.
build your team the way you want. You can swap back and forth between those 2, which is what I've been doing.
That sounds cool.
But it's fucking tough, man. Like there's parts where it gets tough.
It's a top-down shooter.
It's a top-down. Like there's melee, there's shooting. It's the people that made Castle Crashers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Castle Crashers was wonderful. Did you play Castle Crashers?
The Cellar Door games or whatever. It's them.
Okay,
doing
that's
their
gonna be
version
great
of like
then.
a beat 'em up thing.
Awesome.
It's a beat 'em up that they added 2 characters that use guns. One is a sniper, and the other 3 are kind of close range fighting characters.
Yeah, I checked it out. I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah,
I'm definitely interested
I'll
in it.
look
Like,
at
I plan on
screenshots,
buying
yeah.
it tonight. So we'll be streaming that soon as well.
I've been on Paladins hard, and I'm going to continue to be on Paladins hard. I think it's a fantastic game, and it's free. I don't expect to buy anything. There's no need to. You just grind.
Yeah.
Just grind and play. But we appreciate you guys checking out Savage Gaming Podcast. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Also, like us on Facebook and Twitch at a Savage Gaming Experiment. Till next time.
Well,